This meeting is being recorded.
It's did you hear that on your end? So this meeting is being recorded. Hello, everybody. I am so happy to be with you here today. Thank you for joining me. This is a beautiful guest, you guys. I am so excited to introduce you guys to Brigitte. Brigitte and I met last October. So it's been 6-8 months ago that we met. And it was when I went to the Certified Angelic Advisors training with 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗃. And that is how I got to meet this beautiful soul. She is absolutely amazing. You guys are going to love to find out all about her. Just a reminder, the introduction, I always keep really short on these so that we can get into the meat of the interview. So all of her links, everything you want to know about her, how to find her, where to find her books, where to find her cards, all of the things are going to be listed below. So you can find it in the notes or in the description if you're on Facebook. So, and on YouTube as well, everything's going to be linked. So that being said, I'm so excited to invite you guys to join us in this conversation, to drop your questions and comments below, and one of us will try to get back to you after in the next few days or whatever. So if you have any questions, just let us know, because that's why we do this, right? Like, we both have this heart. Well, everybody that comes on my show has a heart to help others. So that being said, guys, Brigitte is absolutely amazing. Her book is How to Get Your Life Back, which you know I resonate with so well. So quickly, Brigitte, tell us a little bit about you, and then we're going to get into some really good conversation.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today. And ditto to you. You're such a beautiful soul. And meeting you at Certified Angel Advisors course with Radley was one of the highlights of my time there. And thank you for the work that you do. It's very sacred. It is beautiful. And the work that I do, I'm in long-term recovery. And I say that with part of my life purpose is helping people, assisting and guiding them through removing and uncovering things that are no longer serving them, whether it be habits, lifestyles, anything that buffers or puts a veneer over our true nature. And I know for me, before I got into recovery, I didn't know until I got into recovery. There's a saying, the bigger the life purpose, the bigger the fear. And so what I did was I always felt like I did not belong. I always felt like there was something bigger to this life. But what I did was I got hooked up and connected with some stuff that really took over and prevented me from stepping into my life purpose. And so one of the things that I do is I go in there, like I'm working with my angels and the persons, whoever I'm working with, their angels also, and the archangels, and help assist in guiding them back into the light and back on the path. Yes.
I love that so much. So one of the things that I feel like, I love that you have the book out. I think it's so important. One of the things that I've felt as humans in general, regardless if you've had any of the troubles with addictions or not, there's this unworthiness. And that is something that I am so passionate about. If I could tell everybody one thing and only one thing, it would be, you are worthy. Right? Like if we could all just understand that we are this divine creation and that God created us and that we're worthy just by that, right? Just because we were created by God, that makes us like, we're amazing beings. So like, I love that we both have that passion of really trying to help people find their value.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about your book and like how, like, I know that you self-published, which is something that I love as well, because I'm also self-published. So I'm excited about that. But tell us about like your book and like what drew you. I know that the angels probably prompted you, but like what made you get into the story of it and sharing and writing the book?
Oh, that is just, thank you for asking that. When I was younger, when I was a kid, I knew I was going to be an author. And I wanted to write a book on beauty, and I would tear pages out and say, someday I'm going to be an author. And then my path took a different course, and that was okay with, being in school and not really taking writing classes or anything, but I loved to write. I have all these notes, I have all these pieces of paper, I have Post-its everywhere, and my ideas that would come to me were just absolutely beautiful and divinely inspired. One of the things with the book, I had met a lot of people that knew and said, you know, you've got quite a story. And I go, I don't know, you know, I'm able to share about my story with my experience, strength, and hope, with what it was like, what happened, and what my life is like now. And so one of the big things that in my vision with this book was, I didn't want to just write about all the stuff that had happened in my life. I wanted to also write about the hope with it. You know, that I am no longer this person. My creator and angels completely shifted me on a completely different path. I, of my own doing, could not have come up with this miraculous, you know, healing from this lifestyle. And then what happened was, I not only wanted to focus or portray, you know, zero in on my story, I collectively gathered other people's stories too. And oh my goodness, the other stories in it is it's amazing. They're people of all different professions, of many different lifestyles. I mean, I'm a hair designer. So you kind of go, okay, I grew up in LA, and you kind of go, okay, this is like the lifestyle of LA. Of course you lived that fast life in the fast lane. You know, that's almost to be expected from California. It doesn't necessarily mean it stays that way though. And so the other stories are with professionals that are stewardesses, that are people that are very professional, and it's just of where their addictions, no matter what it was, whether it was food, we all got to eat, right? Whether it was food, workaholism, perfectionism, addictions of drugs or alcohol, it is the stories that are in the book had to have the same type of vision of what it was like, what happened, and what their life is like now, to give people hope. So even if you don't have addictions or that type of lifestyle, you may not have any of them. That is great news. I'm so happy that you have never had to embark on that path. However, we all know someone who's been affected by them. All of us have a family member.
Or just the perfectionism alone. Like, one of the things that I found through all of the work I've done is there seems to be, and especially you and I, we're in the healing, we're into the, you know, we work with the angels daily, we do the energy work in the healing, we're empathic, all of those things. And one of the things that I've noticed is, regardless of if it's a chemical addiction or if it's just that perfectionism addiction, right? Like, we as empaths, one of the things that I've noticed particularly is, I feel like there's a almost like a codependency that goes hand in hand, which can also be its own kind of addiction, because it's unhealthy relationship, right? And when we have that empathic nature, I feel like we generally kind of tend to be a little bit codependent, because we can feel what everybody's feeling. And if we don't have the background or to know what to do with it, or the capacity to understand what we're feeling, I feel like it should be for everyone. Like, it doesn't matter if you have an addiction or not. I would say, read your book, right? Like, everybody should read it, because it's going to help you in some way, shape, or form. That's just my opinion. So
yes, and thank you for bringing that up, because my first realization when I became awake was, my bigger addiction was codependency, and I did not know in the various ways, shapes, and forms that it would be. And so what I was doing in essence was, with my codependency, I was betraying myself, you know, and I would compromise my values, and I would people please, and it was never good enough. I felt that unworthiness. Thank you for saying that and mentioning that. And then later on, as things unraveled, you know, things became really apparent that it was a very layered situation. Yeah, so
definitely. Definitely. So I love that the healing journey that you've been through, because it's brought you to where you are now, and you are a very gifted healer. So side note, you guys, I did have a session with Brigitte, and she's absolutely amazing. Some of you guys have heard me talk. My guides are very particular about who they allow into my energy. So being able to, she was like, yeah, I had to get through the gate on that one. But no, she did. I mean, the session was fantastic. So again, all the links are going to be below, so you guys can get a hold of Brigitte, make sure you get on her email list and all of the things, and follow her on Facebook. But if you want a session, again, it's something I would definitely recommend. So something I know we're kind of going, I'm so excited. I feel like we're going so fast that I'm like, okay, let's take a breath, because there's so many things that I want to ask you about too. Is I so need to know about your card deck. Like, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know you had one. I knew you had the book. So tell me all about this card deck.
Oh, okay. So this card deck, I'm so proud of this. So this card deck is called Inner Glow. Right there. And my illustrator is Noelle Swanson.
Love her.
She's my daughter.
Is she your daughter? Oh my
Noelle
goodness.
Swanson is my daughter. And so
she's amazing as well.
Oh, this came to me piggybacking the book.
Oh, perfect.
So I wanted to make sure it's funny because you and I met in Florida on the Certified Angelic Advisor course by Radleigh Valentine. And so the beauty in this book was I was on my way to Angel Camp in Kona, Hawaii. And what came to me was, with this book, How to Get Your Life Back, there needed to be not only the stories of what it was like, what happened, and what my life is like now. I thought there needs to be an oracle deck.
Love it.
To just pull for hope and I literally was on the plane on my way to Kona, and with staffing, and I had my phone out, and I'm like, okay, each topic would be so beautiful if we could have an oracle card deck and just have these beautiful topics. And so it was designed for people getting their life back. I have like calling all angels.
Love it.
That is like in the 11th hour. Cutting cords. Awareness. Meditate. And it goes on. Letting go. This beautiful, beautiful card deck. So this was for a daily practice for when people would do their prayer and meditation, that they could pull these cards and have guidance for whatever they needed for their day.
Focus on for the day. Yeah.
Yes.
Love
it's
that.
Absolutely beautiful. Me too.
Yeah. Now, how many cards are in there?
44.
Perfect. I love it. Of course, there's 44.
Yes, 44 cards. And with it being an oracle deck, I could kind of free form do anything that I wanted to write about, whichever topics that I felt were very important on how one could get back into their well-being and get some guidance for the day.
I love that so much. I love everything about you and your work, your calling. So I'm trying to think the best thing to ask. I know that we met through Radleigh, and I know that I feel drawn to you. So I'm just going to I haven't even told anybody this. So when I went to that event with Radleigh, it was literally just to give myself something. So this is something I think we both kind of like, self-care is something that's so important. And I just needed a chance to do something for myself to kind of reset my energy. I've worked with the angels for years, but I just needed to like rekindle that. And I think things like your book and your oracle deck, that's something that would help people kind of rekindle their excitement about being in that, the energy and the vibration of the angels and how angels work. So I'm going to ask, my angels definitely plopped me into the whole thing with Radleigh. Like, I didn't even know about it. And I was talking to a friend and she's like, did you see this? And I signed up like that. Like, and it all fell into place. So I know it was one of those things, anytime it flows so easily like that, I know my angels are behind it. And I found an amazing tribe of women that are just absolutely incredible. Like I wouldn't normally call them my tribe, but at the CAA, we got pulled into different groups, and these women, they just feel like they've been my sisterhood forever, right? For lifetimes, I'm sure.
Yes.
And I love that. But one of the things that I feel like is really important right now, and I know you do local events and things as well. Do you do those online too, or are they just local?
Well, that's a good question. I do them local right now. However, in 2020, I did pivot. You know, I did what everybody did. And so I've hosted facilitated an angel circle.
Love that.
Since 2009 in my place here, Brigitte Serenity Studio in Auburn. And then of course, when 2020 happened, I broke my knee in 16 places.
Oh my goodness.
On January 11th. And let me tell you, my world changed completely. I kind of slowed my roll before other people's roll got slowed. and then so when I was able to, I started facilitating them online. And then things opened back up again, and I was in the process of healing. And my people in town were like, when are you going to start it live again? And I'm like, just wait till things open up and we'll do it again. And so I went from hosting it online to hybrid. And then, oh my goodness, here at our studio, I mean, our studio is huge here. We have almost all of upstairs in a center. And what happened was it got so full with people coming in that I could no longer do hybrid and face-to-face, I call it. So then I said, okay, I wrapped it up and thanked my people who were coming in on Zoom. But so far it's locally, but I've been getting questions to host things again on Zoom.
So I know that so the reason I'm bringing this up is because I do feel like one of the things, especially as we move into more of the Aquarius, like I know Pluto's kind of toggling back and forth right now, but the more we get into the Aquarian energies, it's going to be about community. So I always like to let people know of the different communities. Obviously, I have Embodied Grace community and Facebook, but that's online. So I would urge anybody that's in your area, like go check out her shop, go see her studio, go connect with like-minded people. I feel like it really that sense of community is so important and powerful. And I think it's really important right now because so many people are searching. And I think if you're going to search, the angels are a great place to search to, right? To start looking towards. And I know one of the things that we both have a passion about is really helping other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. If you can go local in your community to the brick and mortar places, that would be fabulous. Start there, and then you can extend that where you have a global community, because we are global now.
We are global.
The world has just opened up to this beauty, and there are a lot of beautiful things that have happened, a lot of magnificent connections. And it's also important to have your roots and your wings, you know, of doing that. And having a balance of that, it's so important.
Well, I enjoy your weekly because that's on Facebook.
Yes, it is.
And
so Tuesdays, yes.
Yeah, and I travel, right? So I travel around. So I don't really have that home base anymore, which I think is why CAA was kind of like good for me, because since I travel so much all over, I don't have that same home base that I would when we lived in the house that we lived in for 15 years. You know what I mean? So I really feel like I love the way that Facebook and YouTube gives us that sense of connectedness, even though we may not be able to go to the brick and mortar, right? So I would tune in, you guys, on Tuesdays to check out Bridget's show.
Yes, that's on my How to Get Your Life Back author page, and that's beautiful. And I want to touch, Jennifer, on what you're saying about that community also with the CAA. That is so vital. I know when I went to the other version, you know, in the past, in 2007 of it, it changed my world. It was like all of my friends were local, all of this, but then I ended up getting this spiritual family that was all across the world, that I've made forever friends from it. It is beautiful how, even bringing it up to modern day, I would have never met you. And on a side note of that, I do know that one is coming up that one like we went to at 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗲, and that will be coming up very soon. So I highly recommend going to that also to make these lifelong friends. Yes.
Right. I agree. I agree. Are you going to be at that one?
That's a good question. I'm
going to put you on the spot here and see.
Yes, yes. Are you going?
I am not going to make it to this one, but I'm going to make a declaration that someday I will come out and see your shop. I'm going to say that out loud so that I could come out to your studio and experience one of your angel circles in person, because that would be absolutely amazing. So
phenomenal.
I like to keep these to about half an hour, and I know we're getting very close to that. I think we've got about 10 more minutes left. I would love to know, like, what is something that you're passionate about right now that you're working on? Obviously, I know you have your book, and that's a passion forever. Is there any offer right now that you have, or a favorite session that you're doing? Like, what are you seeing with your clients that's the most beneficial right now?
Of them stepping into their life purpose.
Love it.
And so with the angels, I'm working with the angels with that and assisting that. A lot of people will say, you know, I love what you do. I love how you, and my purpose in life is you can do it too. You've got this, and it's to walk shoulder to shoulder with whoever I'm working with it. You've got this too. It's not just me. And together, collectively, globally, we will make a difference. And so competition is such old news. You know, I'm saying at my angel circles right now, at the angel parties that I host in person, all hands on board, all feet in deck. We're all in this together.
I love
competition,
that so much.
There's no room for it at all. We're here to support, walking shoulder to shoulder on this journey, here in support with one another.
I love that so much. So one of the things that I love to talk about as well, and this goes along with your life purpose thing, is creating a life that we love, right? And I think, I think it's so important, especially as we move into the frequencies, because the frequencies are changing. Life as we know it is changing. We're moving from the old 3D paradigms of competition, you know, and how things used to be. And we're moving into this more expanded expression as humans and as a collective, right? Like, we're really moving into more of a love frequency, I feel like. But I also think it's really important that you choose your focus, right? Because you can either choose to focus on some of the older things, and you get to do that. You get to do that as a soul, but you also have the opportunity to start being more positive and being more intentional and really creating a life you love based on the choices that you make and based on where you focus, right? So like, your deck is perfect for that, because you can put yourself in focus of things that are going to be uplifting and inspiring instead of dragging you down.
Yes. And thank you for bringing that up. And that's why the frequencies right now from, you know, we could either say it's moving from the ego to the heart or from the head to the heart. It's the longest journey, yet it's only 12 inches. And so in that, the frequency, and we can create the life we desire right now. And when you focus on that in the frequency, and I love sound. Actually, my husband is the sound person, and we have all the crystal bowls and the frequencies, and he does trainings and certifications with that. But I've been blessed to assist him and be on his team for each and every certification. And right now, from the frequencies, it's a sound frequency, and also you could see first, with a ripple effect, there's chaos, or it feels like chaos, like the water with Dr.
Emoto.
You know, first there's the chaos and the static, but then once it settles in and that frequency goes, then it goes into that beautiful, beautiful pattern. And that's what humanity is going through right now. So it's really important to hold the space and stay the course, and to really practice that meditation right now and being in alignment with the divine and bringing that into this world, that beautiful new era that we're in right now. It's like grassroots are springing up everywhere. People are like, can you believe what's going on? And I said, can you see what's happening? Look at the beauty that's happening right now also in the midst of it.
I love that so much. I agree 100% on that. So, okay, so I'm going to ask one more favor before we wrap it up. Would you pull us a card from your deck and give us a little mini reading before we wrap this up?
I would love to. Absolutely. So I will do a collective reading for those watching it live and for watching the replay. Thank you for that opportunity. Oh, wow. Okay. So right now it's of peace of mind, going right now where things are calm, being out in nature, bringing the stuff that brings joy into your life, creating that through meditation. So that's the main focus, and that will bring the light in, being in alignment. So our angels are asking us also to get rid of any martyrdom. I didn't know this, but martyrdom is like a victim card also. And there's a story that goes along with that. And so our angels are asking us to let go of the old stories and embrace the newness and the new chapters, the new books that are coming into our life. The past is gone. Let go of it. And it's really important to allow more light into our lives and to let go of any old stories, especially from the last few years. And then here's the next card is spiritual mentor. What I'm getting through this is not only of having a spiritual mentor is vital for walking this course, but also embracing it that you have those qualities inside of you also. And to step into being that spiritual mentor with the wisdom that you have inside is what's coming through. And it's beautiful.
I love that so much. Thank you, Brigitte. That's amazing. I love those cards.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to have to get that deck. I can't believe before this call, I didn't even know you had it. So I am so grateful to you for coming on, being a guest. Again, you guys go find her stuff. All of the links are going to be underneath this video, so you can find all of the ways to follow her, get connected with her, look at her Tuesday show. Remind me what your Tuesday show is called.
It's called Tune Up Tuesdays with Brigitte, and that's with the frequency and vibrations. And
love it.
Join me. Yes.
So much.
Thank you. You get a reading on there, so join me live.
And what time do you go live on Tuesdays?
12 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, so 12 p.m. Pacific would be 1 Mountain,
yes,
2 Central, and 3 Eastern.
Correct.
I'm finally starting to figure out this time zone thing. Traveling so much, I never know what time zone I'm in. So it's too funny. But all right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us live today. Of course, you'll be able to find the replay, and I will get this on YouTube as well. Sending you guys all lots of love, and we'll see you all soon. Brigitte, is there anything you want to leave with?
I would. Thank you so much for the work you do, Jennifer. You are making a great change in the world. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.